Welcome to St John's for our weekly update. This week is NAIDOC week, a really important week, I think, in the unfolding of Australia's self-consciousness. Just today, Gladys Berejiklian has suggested that we change the words of the national anthem ever so slightly so that we can acknowledge the long-term presence of the First Nations peoples here on this continent. NAIDOC Week reminds us that we have the opportunity as a nation to become more mature by listening to First Nation voices and fully understanding the story of the continent and how we later comers fit into the story of our nation. And we are, of course, facing a number of crises at the moment, climate change and the ecological catastrophe. And so our society as a whole has to look for other resources as well as pursuing justice, other resources that will enable us to live more in sympathy and with a deeper sense of relationship to the land. I suspect that if we listened more deeply to our First Nations people and to their culture and their learning in terms of 65,000 years at least of living on this continent, that we might find a better way to live too. So it's a week to celebrate the gift of our First Nations people and also to dedicate ourselves to explore more deeply how we might move forward in the process of reconciliation. This year, the Archbishop's November appeal focuses on the coming of the light, a very important day for the people of the Torres Strait, the day they first encountered the missionaries who spoke to them about light coming amongst them. On the 1st of July next year will be 150 years since the light came to the Torres Strait. The coming of the light plays a really important role in the self-understanding of the people of the Torres Strait. So 150 years is looming large, and many celebrations are being planned, including here at St John's. And the Archbishop's November appeal will enable some of those preparations to take place, as well as furthering ministry in the Torres Strait. The Melanesian Brotherhood is beginning to do some work in the Torres Strait. It's a very exciting development. One of the ways in which we encourage the exploration of the faith here at St John's is the use of our On The Way podcast. A new podcast has been released just in the last few days. It involves Dom, Sue and I having an amazing conversation with Trip Fuller in Edinburgh. It's one of the luxuries, if you like, of being able to use Zoom to bring people into our room, if you like. Trip Fuller is an amazing theologian, and in this podcast we explore the idea of whether God is as nice as Jesus. So I commend that to you. It's a really great conversation. This coming weekend we have the opportunity to enjoy the last of our trivia nights. We were planning to have the trivia night here in St John's, but during the week we've had a look at the logistics of doing that, and it's really it's impossible to hold such an event during the COVID restrictions as they apply through the industry plan that applies to places of worship. And so we've moved the trivia night onto Zoom. You'll find details of how to join on the Cathedral website. It'll still be a great night. On Sunday we're hosting the first part of our annual meeting. During that meeting we'll be electing our office bearers for 2021. That meeting will be held both in person in the Cathedral and by Zoom, and we anticipate that it won't take a terribly long time, but some great candidates are standing for the various offices, and so we thank them for being prepared to give of themselves as we seek together to embrace the emerging future that we are seeking to attend to here at St John's. Sunday is also our Pride Festival Day here at St John's. This year we have a much more limited celebration of Pride because of COVID-19. We are offering a Labyrinth Walk that Blair has prepared for us. You'll be able to find a link to that on the Cathedral website. The link will become active at about 11:30 on Sunday. At Evensong on Sunday night, we'll be having our Pride Evensong. As part of that Evensong, I will be offering the homily, and during that homily I will be exploring the idea of overcoming the binary bias. The binary bias is a product of the way we do philosophy in our culture, in our Western culture. The binary bias is like the air we breathe. We hardly notice that it's affecting us, and yet it affects so many parts of our life. It affects the way we understand our relationship to the planet, and it also affects the way we understand who we are and how we are. During the homily, I'll be exploring how diversity is actually a gift to the human family, and how it will help us to, by honouring diversity, we will actually learn how to live better together. Following Evensong, there will be the opportunity to join with me in conversation, and that opportunity will be offered both in person and by Zoom. On Sunday, the 22nd of November, we're offering the opportunity for young girls to experience the life of our choir. So we're having an event called Girl Chorister for a Day. Details are appearing on the screen as I speak, and you'll find those same details on the Cathedral website. So please do make that opportunity known to any families who have a young girl who might be interested in the wonderful experience of singing with the Cathedral Girls Choir. Birthdays this week, we say happy birthday to Megan Plater, to Anna Morrison, to Leslie Gallimore and Lee Beanland. May you all have the great gift of cake, and remember you're allowed to celebrate for 8 days, so you should be able to have cake 8 days in a row. We do miss those of you who are unable to be with us because of the COVID-19 threat. We look forward to the time when you can gather with us. Worship on Sunday is really gathering momentum at the moment. Good numbers of people are attending. There is a good feel about worship and community. And one of the things I would like to assure those of you who feel like it might be a risky thing to do, the Cathedral community is behaving really well in terms of adhering to the COVID restrictions. And in fact, a member of a family of one of the people who come here on a regular basis said that they thought St John's was the safest place in Brisbane. Thanks to all of you for the support you give to the life of this community. Thanks again to those who have offered themselves for positions at the annual meeting on Sunday. Thank you for the ongoing support, particularly for the financial support, but also for the assurance of your prayers and for the way members of the community are looking out for one another. It really is a testament to the power of community in these complex times. Peace be with you.